Hey everybody, welcome to a new episode of Can't Hardly Wait. I'm Joe,
I'm Alexis.
and I just wanted to do a check-in. I think in our last episode we said it might be 2 weeks before our next episode, but it's actually just a week later because we are just so excited to check in
So
again.
excited to be here.
um, I wanted to start by talking a little bit about how my journey's been going. As I mentioned before, I'm trying to pretty much stick to the Mediterranean diet, and that basically means that I'm trying to eat mostly a plant based diet. So I'm still eating meat, but much less frequently than I would in the past. Um, so really trying to focus on eating, vegetables, whole grains, healthy fats, things like that. Over the past week, for example, I've been eating oats for breakfast every day. So I'll usually do either overnight oats or hot oats sometimes. I just buy a giant container of Quaker oats, and I like to make that with almond milk. And I usually put some blueberries in there just to get some fruit, good antioxidants, things like that. I'll usually have a banana as a snack in the morning. This week for lunch, pretty much every day, I've been doing avocado toast. I've been enjoying Dave's Killer Bread, which I know is not necessarily the best option, but it's better than a lot of other breads out there. I like that it's organic. It has a lot of, whole grains, some nuts and seeds. So it's a pretty good choice. And I've just been doing that with, been buying like a bag of avocados and just kind of slicing it up and putting a little bit of seasoning on there. But avocado is a great source of healthy fats and potassium, a few other things. And then for dinner this week, I've been mostly doing a sweet potato and black bean chili recipe that I found online, and that's been fantastic. So
Smells really good.
yeah, it tastes really good.
I bet it tastes good.
I actually sent the recipe to my mom, and she's usually not as adventurous as I am with food stuff, and she's definitely more of like a carnivore, and she's really been enjoying it too. So really, most of this week I've been eating vegetarian, which has been nice. And I should say that I've already been feeling a lot of benefits. Like my resting heart rate has come down a lot over the past few weeks, to the point that I actually contacted my cardiologist to make sure that it was okay. But my blood pressure has come down too, and I've been feeling better too, honestly. So it's been going well so far. Overall, I'm down about 18 pounds from my highest point at the start of January. Um, I did want to mention a couple kind of less exciting things or less fun things, I guess. Um, One is that I have suffered an injury that happened about a week and a half ago at this point. I pulled a groin muscle. Hoping it's not a hernia. Actually, I'm going to get an ultrasound in the near future to figure that out. But it's been hard for me because traditionally in the past, I've always done really well with a diet or food plan as long as I am able to exercise consistently. But historically, if I do have an injury or otherwise I'm kind of sidetracked from my workouts, my food plan tends to just go out the window.
But we're not doing
We're not doing that.
that. We're following.
But yeah, I don't know what it is for me psychologically, but like those two things are always linked. So like I'll be doing great, feeling great, working out, regularly, and then if for some reason I have to stop working out, my diet just goes out the window and I end up just falling off track and gaining weight, and it's terrible. I mean, I think I mentioned before that one of my main workouts is a yoga program I've been doing. I haven't been doing that since I've had this injury, but what I have been doing is trying to get several walks in. We have a dog, and I usually will walk him around the block several times a day. And like one lap around the block is usually about 10 to 15 minutes of walking and about 1,200 to 1,500 steps.
I think it's
So,
about a third of a mile.
yeah. So, I mean, I'm getting, 6,000 steps or more usually every day, which is still pretty solid. So, that's kind of helping me, I think, stay on track. Just kind of doing what I can. And I mean, mentally, I really do feel like I'm, more dedicated to things than I have been in the past. And honestly, I think the Mediterranean diet is helping me stay on track because I do enjoy the food that I'm eating. It is satisfying and makes me feel full, and I don't really feel like I'm depriving myself of delicious foods. Speaking of which, kind of the last thing I wanted to talk about is that I ate pizza last night. Oh my goodness, I know. And one of the things I love about the Mediterranean lifestyle is that you're not supposed to entirely cut out foods that you enjoy. It's something where you're just supposed to enjoy them less frequently and kind of in moderation. So, over the past week or so, I found myself just really craving pizza.
I mean, who
And
doesn't?
who doesn't? And so I decided yesterday, I ordered a pizza just for myself. I got a 12-inch pizza, which was the smallest one that this particular place had. I ate half of it in one sitting, and then I did end up eating the rest of it later last night. After a marathon podcast session I did with some of my friends, but we might talk about that at a later time. But I was feeling hungry, and I mean that's one thing that I'm trying to do a little differently is, listening to my hunger cues. So I ate the first half, and I felt satisfied, so I put the rest away. I was feeling genuinely hungry after like 4 or 5 hours, so I did end up eating the rest of it. I'm glad I did it. I mean, it was good pizza. It hit the spot. I will say that I kind of felt like crap today. I didn't sleep well last night. I kind of felt pretty crappy this morning when I woke up. And I mean, I think it's a combination of just like the, refined carbohydrates in the crust and all the sodium. I got both pepperoni and sausage on it. So just like tons of sodium and processed meats and things like that. And, I will eat pizza again in the future. Like, I don't feel bad. I don't feel guilty about it. And I think it's important to let yourself have those things that you're craving once in a while. But I do also think it's important to pay attention to how you feel after you have that. Like, in this case, I didn't feel great. Like, just physically, I didn't feel great about it. So, today I am back to like trying to eat more towards the Mediterranean lifestyle. Tonight I'm gonna make a Thai-inspired green curry with chicken and green beans over some rice. So back to gonna saute my curry paste in some olive oil, so getting some healthy fats and some lean proteins and some vegetables. And I'm really excited to try that. And I feel like I'm kind of looking more forward to that than I was to the pizza yesterday. So, kind of hoping that as I go along, my tastes will kind of change and that I will continue to be kind of more satisfied by the healthier foods. I feel like that's kind of the ultimate goal of any, healthy eating program in general is a true lifestyle change and kind of changing your habits and the kinds of things that you crave and that give you, satiety. And I feel like that's already kind of happening for me, which is awesome.
Yes.
So, I guess that's all for me. I'm going to turn it over to my lovely wife.
Yeah, so I am, how many days post-op here?
It's been about a week and a half, over a week and a half.
About a week and a half.
So-
So I'm still on liquids. I've been drinking lots of protein shakes and popsicles and soup broth and anything you can think of that is liquid. I've been doing it. I still have my little cup with
Yeah.
the ounces on it because I'm trying to get it on my fluids.
Which, I mean, I don't know if you mentioned this on the last episode, but pro tip for the broth
Yeah.
is that it seems like you have found it a lot more satisfying to actually take a can of soup,
Yeah.
like chicken noodle or like there's a tortilla soup she
Yes.
liked, and strain
Strain
the
it.
broth out. Like
Yeah.
it's more flavorful than just buying chicken broth, which is
Right.
boring as heck.
Yeah, it just tastes better. It's kind of wasteful, but like I'm eating it, like it's a meal
Yeah.
for me, so it's worth it. But I've been doing that and found a couple things that I like. And then actually, as of tomorrow, I did have my post-op appointment with the dietitian and the surgical PA, and they said everything was going great, and that tomorrow I can move on to pureed or smooth foods. So that will be things like cottage cheese. We got some mashed potatoes, yogurt. Gosh, what else? Those are kind of the big things that
Yeah.
I
Well, and I mean, you can like puree soups now.
puree, which yeah, we'll see.
You're
if we
so
do
excited
that.
about
I'm gonna do some
baby food.
Yep, refried beans.
She doesn't want to do that.
I'm not doing baby food. Stuff like that. I can do pudding. I'm gonna make some protein pudding. That kind of thing. So that I will be on for like another 2 weeks or so, or a week and a half, and then I can move on to
So,
soft food.
It's 10 days, I think.
Yeah,
Yeah,
it
week
is
and a
10
half.
days.
That's exciting.
Yeah. So I'm excited to just put anything in my mouth that isn't a popsicle or broth at this point. But so we'll see how that goes. I'm still kind of like, even when I eat some of the broth and stuff, my stomach is like, "What are you doing?" Like it's not. It doesn't hurt. It's just like it's a new feeling of full. It's a different kind of full that I felt from before surgery. So I'm apprehensive and a little bit nervous, but we're gonna see how it goes, and I think it'll be great. I'm excited to move forward. I am still kind of just like, I feel really good physically. Like we went to Costco today and I was feeling like, usually when we would go to Costco or shopping in general, like I am fatigued by the time I'm done. And I was tired, but I didn't feel like as bad.
Yeah, you
You
were
know.
saying yesterday that you feel like it's easier for you to get around
Yeah.
even than it was before the surgery.
Yeah, and I have lost some weight, so I think that's part of it. But I feel I have more energy.
Yeah, which is awesome.
Yeah. So physically, I feel good. Mentally, I'm really in my head a lot, thinking about just I want to be successful at this, and like, you know, I do. You don't realize how emotional food is, and like, to me, I've kind of always been a person that you just deal with whatever's going on and you just move on, and I haven't been good at dealing with the thing and feeling my feelings.
Yeah.
Because what I would do instead of feeling my feelings is I would eat them. So I would just be like, okay, stuff sucks. I just keep going. That's how life is. Just deal with it, move on, then eat some pizza. But now it's like, wow, my day was weird and sucked. Or even like my day was great and I want to celebrate. I guess I'll have some chicken broth because that's, you can't do that. Like, it's not like
Yeah.
a thing that makes you feel better.
Yeah.
So I'm still trying to figure that out. I still have no idea how to deal with that. I've got a therapy appointment coming up, so I'm sure we'll chat about that.
I mean, I feel like that's the hardest part of all of this.
Yes.
I mean, like I'm having that too. I mean, I'm sure to a lesser extent because I can eat more things,
Yeah.
but I definitely had the same. And I mean, you hit on an important point where it's like the kind of I don't want to say stereotype, but everybody thinks like, I mean, fat bastard in Austin Powers. I eat because I'm sad, and I'm sad because I eat.
Yeah.
Like that's true, but I mean, but also sometimes you eat because you're happy.
Yeah.
Like, and I mean, it's like it's the same thing with like alcohol or like things like that. But I mean, as we like the
Right.
problem with food is that you still have to eat.
Right. So that's hard. We've got a couple things coming up that I'm just telling myself. You know, my brother is coming into town, and I'm excited to see him. But I know there's going to be some things like I'm sure we'll want to go out to dinner and whatever, and I can't really eat anything.
Yeah.
So it's going to be weird, and it's going to be me trying to just, you know, enjoy my company, but I'm not going to be eating, and that is weird, right? Like
Yeah.
it's not normal, but it is what it is, and I have to tell myself like this is part of the journey. And I know my brother doesn't care. He just wants to hang out with me
Yeah.
and see me, and I haven't seen him in ages. And Joe's birthday's coming up, and it's a big birthday.
I feel bad.
I don't feel bad. I
I
don't
know,
feel
but I
bad.
do.
But it's I want to be able to celebrate, but I just am not at that point.
Yeah.
You know, food wise, and I don't want it to be the thing that I do to celebrate all the time
Yeah.
either. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So, I'm glad his parents are coming into town, because otherwise it would just me and him sitting at a table in a restaurant, and he would be eating and I would be there. So,
I mean, I honestly, if my family wasn't coming, I think I would just want to get takeout or something.
Yeah, I know,
Like,
but
it would
it's
be
a-
less awkward
it's
for everyone.
an important
but-
birthday, and
Yeah.
and I want to be able to celebrate.
Yeah.
You know,
Yeah.
and I feel bad because
You should.
this is like
feel bad.
I know, but you know.
I know. I mean, it's weird, and
Yeah.
it's like it's. I mean, even like for me with my journey. Like I have a friend who is in town right now who I might try to meet up with later, and it's like if you're meeting up with someone, usually you're either like getting together for dinner or for drinks or something, and like I'm still not drinking right now. He doesn't really drink anyway, but like I don't want to eat food outside of my house, and
Yeah.
like so I I'm feeling that too. Or when your brother is here,
Yeah.
like we've kind of talked about that, like there might be a situation where we're going out to dinner
Right.
just for social reasons, but I don't know if I'm going to want to eat anything,
Yeah.
like, and I think we're both trying to navigate a new normal, and it's like I feel like there's kind of like a weird stigma or like a social pressure that usually comes up where it's
Yeah.
like, especially, I mean, for you, I don't want to say you have an excuse, but like for you, it's like you literally can't
Right.
eat anything.
Yes.
But for me, it's like, I could see people being like, oh, come on, it's one dinner. Like, what's that going to hurt? And it's,
Yeah.
in the past, I would have always given in and been like, okay, fine, I'll eat something and probably eat something not great. But I think I'm really trying to work on, owning the fact that this
Yes.
is my journey.
Yeah.
Like, it's nobody else's business if I don't want to eat
Yeah.
something or like what I do or don't want to do.
Well, and I also think that we are putting more pressure on ourselves than the people around us.
Well, and that's
you know what I
probably
mean?
true, too,
I imagine that the people that we're talking about
Yeah.
being with are going to be like, okay, cool, whatever. Like,
Yeah.
I'm going to, whatever. They don't care.
Yeah.
They just want to spend time with us. Like, but I think we're so conditioned to going out and doing stuff is an excuse to eat food,
Exactly.
and it doesn't have to be.
Yeah.
So
And
anyway,
like, I mean, that's.
Yeah.
All of this is to say that the mental part is the hardest, and
Yes.
like it's going to continue to be, but
yeah,
I think we're both gonna
yeah,
make baby steps and
we're
progress.
making baby steps. Yep. So that's kind of where I'm at. It's still kind of an emotional journey, and I'm trying to put myself out there. I've been doing a lot of TikTok videos.
You're doing a great job.
So good. Doing a lot of trying to reach out on social media to people, just trying to.
Speaking of which,
Oh yeah. So
we do have an official Instagram now where we're
Yeah.
going to be kind of jointly sharing some of the things
Yeah.
we're eating and just kind of our journey. So that
Yes.
is at Can't Hardly Wait Show
On Instagram.
on Instagram.
Yes.
So Can't Hardly Wait Show on Instagram. Find us there.
Yeah, there's like one whole post right now.
There are 2 whole posts.
There are
right
2
now.
whole posts, but there will be more.
Yeah.
Yeah, but so we're doing that. I'm just trying to, you know, I'm trying here.
You're trying and you're doing great.
We're doing so good. Yeah, but
I mean, especially in these first few weeks, I mean, there's going to be a lot of kind of trying to figure out how to navigate things. And
Yeah.
I mean, I think it's important that you're talking about this, like that we're talking about these things, because you don't want to give the impression that it's just super easy,
No.
like right out of the bat, you know?
Yeah.
Like, I think it is important to say that there are struggles. It's hard, you know, even like having the plan laid out for you, there still is that kind of mental barrier and like the mental struggles.
Yeah, and I do feel like a lot of people make it seem like it's really easy weight loss surgery. And I know we talked about this previously, but obviously it's not easy.
No.
Physically it was even harder than I thought it would be, you know.
Yeah.
And I had prepared myself.
Yeah.
So that's pretty much where I'm at. That's all I had to that's my update.
Nice.
Yes.
That's probably going to just about do it then.
Yes.
I think maybe next week we are going to maybe try to start varying things up a little bit. I know Alexis talked about maybe showing some of her meal prep for this next puree phase, and probably try to start mixing some things like that in. But for the time being, thanks for watching another episode of Can't Hardly Wait. Be sure to like and subscribe. We're going to be those people now. I said it.
Oh my goodness.
Leave some comments, join our journey, and yeah, maybe we can get some discussion going.
Come say hi. We're nice.
We're nice
Usually.
people.